I mean, is it even about them, or is it more about the team in orange and black tonight? And what's the goals, I guess, in the next 40 minutes of basketball?
I mean, same thing I just said, is play our way. They're going to be patient. They've got some skilled players. They're going to play hard. They're going to compete. I think we're deeper. I think overall we're more talented. I need us to follow our game plan and stick to that and execute that for 40 minutes. I think we'll be okay.
All right. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you again at the postgame show.
Thanks.
That's Coach Jack Nelson of the Central Wyoming Rustlers. They'll take on the Rexburg United Vikings. That'll be next here on the Rustler Radio. This has been your Governor's Council on Impaired Driving pregame show, and we'll tip it off and give you the starting lineups here in just a few minutes on 88.1.
This has been the Rustler pregame show, brought to you by the Governor's Council on Impaired Driving, reminding you that buzz driving is drunk driving. Coming up, it's game time right after this.
In football, injuries can mean missed games or even the end of a career. Injuries caused by impaired driving can disrupt your life or change it forever. Hundreds of people in Wyoming are hurt in alcohol-related crashes each year, impacting the lives of friends, family, and touching everyone in the community. Don't let the decision to drive impaired cost you or your loved ones a sidelining injury. Stay off the injured list. Always designate a sober driver for the win. A message from YDOT.
Your home for Rustler basketball is 88.1 KCWC FM, Riverton.
John Gabrielson alongside Joel Kindle, and we are ready for basketball. Your starting lineups here tonight on 88.1 as we look at the home team first. That will be Central Wyoming College. They will start with number 1, Devon Colley, 6'1" sophomore. He had 12 points, 8 assists, and 1 turnover in the game last night, and Devon will get the start. Also starting number 10, Marquise White, 4 3-pointers for the Anchorage East Thunderbird. And he also is a 6'1" freshman, a 6'3" freshman out of Anchorage, Alaska. Also number 20 is Baras Uruker, and I asked him how to pronounce it, and he said how I'm doing it is fine, but I was pronouncing it wrong, so bear with me. He is 6'8" and 214 out of Istanbul, Turkey. Number 22 is Urshad Iggy Hunt, the All-Region 9 performer from a year ago, 24 points last night, and he's a 6'7" sophomore. And number 30, Brock Finston. Brock is a 6'4" freshman out of Pine Island, Minnesota. And we do want to give a shout out to Brett Evans, who is normally beside us here today. And Brett on his way back from Rollins, and I don't know the extent of it, but Brett, we hope that your dad is doing okay, and I know Brett is on his way back to Riverton, so hopefully things are good to go there. It is Veterans Day, and so with that said, we are not going to have a national anthem, unfortunately.
We did have one before the first game day, as we are the second game, however.
But in honor of all the men and women who served and continue to serve this country, a happy Veterans Day, and from myself and Joel, thank you for your services and sacrifice on this November 11th, Veterans Day. Starting lineups for the Rexburg Vikings, and we may go along with them, as a matter of fact. And it looks like everybody's lined up for an anthem, and they are going to do a national anthem on Veterans Day. So with I said they weren't going to do one, they are going to do one, and we'll be back in just a moment here on Rustler Radio. Alcoholism continues to negatively impact Native American communities.
Volunteers in Fremont County.
Starting lineups for the visitors, they are the Rexburg Vikings. They will be dressed in the white tops and blue bottoms here today. Central's going to be wearing their road black uniforms with white numbers and orange attire. And they will start thusly. Number 7 is Devin Newquist. He is a 6-foot freshman out of Seattle, Washington. They're going to go with, where is he on my list? Zach Jaborgi. He is number 10, a 6'6 senior out of Red Bluff, California. He played at Shasta College. Colton Barnett did not play yesterday. He wasn't here. He just got here today. He's a 6'6 junior. He wears number 32 out of Castledale, Utah. Number 34 is CJ Spute. Craig is his name. Craig, number 34, a 6'4 junior. Scored 9 points from Boise, Idaho yesterday. And let me find our 5th starter out there. It is number 12, Cody Spute, the 6'4 junior. Cody actually played for Boise State. Cody and CJ are brothers. Also McKay Shippen, and he's got a brother on the team, Tyler Shippen, that are out there on the floor right now for the Rexburg Vikings.
Interesting, Jake Cochran, their leading scorer yesterday, apparently not starting this day.
Yeah, Jake yesterday, 22 points for the 6'4 sophomore. He played for Fredericks in Loudoun County, Virginia, and he also played the most yesterday with 30 yesterday. Zach Jaborgi. Now, if you look at number 10, look at his how his last name is spelled, and it's pronounced Jaborgi. And when I asked him yesterday, I'm like, I think somebody owes you an explanation because there's almost not even the same letters in Jaborgi as there is Gulbergia, is how it kind of looks. He got a kick out of that. He said, yeah.
And a non-foreign player either. He's from California, so.
He did, yeah. Had a good time with these Rexburg guys in their shoot-around.
I wish they had their roster numerically is the one thing that...
I've got it numerically.
Yeah, just go print that off if you would for me, please. Right
Iggy will step into the midcourt circle against Colton Barnett. And he will win the tap in the background, in the backcourt rather. DC with first attack. Rustlers in their home, their road black uniforms here at home in the Rustler Classic. Marquise to DC in the left side corner, gets a pick from Uker, running down the lane. DC's going to be fouled as Spute, actually Barnett's going to jump in his face and get the foul.
And in some ways, I think DC may have initiated contact. There's he, kind of led with his forearm a little bit there. No call on him, the call against Rexburg.
And Barnett did not play yesterday, was not here yesterday. They are also missing 2 players on their roster. Trey Shepard and Alex Ross not on their roster today as Devon Colley misses the first free throw. Actually, scratch that. It's Robert Mott and Alex Ross that are not here today. So
Robert Moss not even on this one.
Well,
so
that would be why. 1-0 DC makes the free throw. They will pick him up defensively as Newquist will give the ball to Spute. CJ, top of the key, back to Newquist. He'll dribble drive baseline. He'll go up, and Iggy will pin it to the board and take it away.
They're telling me they have a complex at BYU Rexburg that has like 10 basketball courts on it.
Basketball, a very good sports college until they went to the 4-year and then disbanded the athletics basically to get to be more of an academic school. And Marquise White is going to be fouled, and that's going to go against what? Did he say 25? 7 is what he went with. So okay, 2 plus 5 makes 7. So foul on Newquist. Driving is Fenston. He gets that blocked out of there. Yulker, though, will take it away on the offensive rebound, and we're going to get a stop in play. I think shot clock reset maybe, and it maybe didn't need to.
By the way, they went to becoming the 4-year school. That was in 2001, but they played sports one more year to let players finish out there. And they actually won 17 national championships in various sports. And Rulon Gardner among the players that have gone to Ricks College, as it were then.
Thanks for that. Colley pump fake, dribble drive underneath, and we're going to get ball off of the crowd mic. DC is going to go back to the stripe again.
Yeah, certainly did not initiate the contact. There was kind of raked across the noggin.
Barnett going to finish up, pick up his second personal foul. With 18:57 left in the first, it is 1-0 Central out in front. DC snaps the cords on that one. He's got 2 in a row, 2 for 3. Keaton Small will check into the lineup for Rexburg. Keaton took a pretty good shot above the right eye yesterday. He's got some butterfly Band-Aids above his right eyebrow. The 6'7" sophomore from Las Vegas. The sophomore from Central from Las Vegas hits the other free throw, and he's got all 3 points. It's 3-0 CWC out in front. Newquist throws it away. Ball taken away by Brock Finston, and Iggy on a volleyball play will put it in as they tapped it all over the place. And Iggy Hunt, and it's 5-0 Central. Newquist, left side Spute. In there to Keaton Small. Keaton turn around for 10. That one's off the mark, and Iggy will get the rebound, and Small will get the foul. Rebound number 2 by Urshad.
Nothing about BYU Rexburg. It's a university of 17,000 students, so about 5,000 more than Wyoming, I think. Isn't that kind of what Wyoming is?
Roughly in there. Yeah, there's a shot by Marquise White for 3, no good. Spute will come down with a rebound, CJ. And then Jabors just trips over the new NJCA logo that we painted on the floor this year.
Yeah, a little heavy with the paint.
That ball gets knocked into the backcourt, but it will be a violation over and back. Second turnover by the Vikings.
This CWC wins this. They're pretty much the de facto winner of this tournament, even though it's not a true round robin. They would be the only team to be 2-0 if they were to win this contest.
Jason Dorr and his Western Mustangs heading to the door as they fell to LCCC to go 1-1. LCCC 1-1. Rexburg, if Central.
Jason Dorr, the former Riverton product.
Yep.
Also is in charge of basketball operations at the University of Wyoming.
On the three-point line, Marquise White for a bucket. 7-0 Central out in front. We've played 2 minutes and change here in the first half of the Rustler Classic. You see the jerseys by Rexburg. They have sponsors on them as Jaborzhev will fire a 3 that's off the mark. Marquise White will get the rebound. They had to fundraise in order to pay for their existence, essentially. Iggy, the rebound. That's no good. Ball is loose, and coming away with it is going to be Small.
You may have noticed NBA teams, a number have sponsors, things on their uniforms. Not all have sold that spot yet, but about a third have.
They did not have to fundraise. However, McKay Shippen is into the ball game for Rexburg. Spute.
Well, the contracts keep going up. They may have to.
Left side in the corner. Cody Spute for 3. That's good. Actually, it was Cody. Three-pointer in the deep left-hand corner for Cody Spute, and he's got Rexburg on the board, and we're going to see Henry Tanksley check into the ball game. Next dead ball, our first substitution for Central Barris. Baseline, throws it out to DC, now to Iggy. Back to the basket, spins and faces with Small on him. He'll turn and try to put one over the top. No good. Barris the rebound, and he'll be fouled.
I think Iggy was partially blocked, believe it or not, which doesn't happen a whole lot.
And the foul is going to go on Keaton Small, his second personal. 15 foul on Rexburg, sorry.
Rexburg United coached by Steve Craig. You might remember a former BYU player, Steve Craig, a guard there. Well, it's not him.
So Barras Udokar misses the free throw.
That Steve Craig went on to marry Marie Osmond, by the way.
Bear back to the line. And we get another substitution as Colton Barnett with 2 fouls will check in for Keaton Small. Steve Craig, as you mentioned, their coach, just kind of wants to break into the college ranks and kind of put a team together to coach against colleges to make a name for himself to get in a position somewhere.
It's a good conversation.
He will, Barris makes the free throw. It's 8-3. He will graduate in December from BYU Idaho.
And he's in favor of them bringing sports back there, which may get him expelled. But
Spute to Shippen. He'll rise for 8 in the paint, and McKay Shippen will get the bucket.
I was waiting for a defender to come in front of him. Never did, so I just put it up.
8-5 Central out in front. We've played almost 4 minutes. Iggy hooks it into the corner to Tanksley. Henry's going to flush one down the right side on the baseline. Good quick move by Henry Tanksley, the 6'3 freshman out of Omaha, Nebraska, with the jump, with the jam, and then Fenton almost saves that ball, but he does not.
It's a pretty good gallop. Took him a couple of steps from where he was and put him up and in.
Brady Fullerton, the Riverton product, will check in. The 6'1 freshman Brady, 6 points on the strength of 2 3-pointers last night. John Villanueva in as well. He's a 6'6 freshman from Hillcrest High School in Utah. He's also got some New York ties. Spute with it. Back up top, Craig Spute for 3. That one misses badly, and Fullerton will come away with a rebound. That one went to the right side. Brady rises for 10 on the baseline and gets it. Brady Fullerton, a baseline jumper for 2, and he's on the board. 12-5. Central out in front by 7, 15:40 left.
A little different bucket from there. He created the shot that time on the 10-12-footer.
Jaborgia on the baseline, played at Shasta College, spins, fades for 10, hits the side of the backboard, and Villanueva will pick up the rebound off the floor. Fenston throws a fake and then gives it up to Fullerton. Thought about a 3, doesn't. Fenston wants a pick from Yulker. He'll go over the head with a pass. Yulker dishes underneath Villanueva, and he misses it point blank.
Very good unselfishness, but maybe a little bit overpassing because a couple good shots were passed on.
Shot in the paint, good by Cody Spute, former Boise, Idaho Bronco. Both he and Craig Spute's father played at Boise State as well. Fenston with a 12-7 lead, dish to Yulker. He'll lay it up with the right hand on the left-hand side. Good move right there. And Barris with his first field goal of the game. Romario Spence will check in next dead ball. Spute into the paint, kicks it back out. Craig Spute with it. Now to Cody, left side Jaborgia. He will fire a long 3. That one's off the mark. Fenston will come away with the rebound for Central. Rexburg right now 1 for 4 from 3-point land. Fullerton with it, looking for a pick from Villanueva. Will get an offensive foul from John Villanueva instead as he moved while he set that pick for Brady. That'll be his first, team first on CW. That's their first foul of the game. Barris will check out, as will Fenston. Marquise White back in. Also Romario Spence into the ball game. Romario last night 16 points out of England. Underneath, they'll give it up. Nice run by Colton Barnett. He'll run it down the right side of the lane and put it off glass and in. 14-9 now with 14 minutes left to play in the first half. Central with the lead. Villanueva finds Fullerton out at the top. Brady back into the midcourt circle area to Marquise White. Marquise steps back to 3, won't shoot it. 10 on the shot clock. Romario spins again, and he'll be called for the offensive foul.
I thought he'd been able to be called for that maybe earlier on that possession even, as he kind of initiated the contact there on the baseline.
So John Villanueva is going to exit as Iggy Hunt will check in his place.
Living dangerously on the press row here.
I'll sit it right next to $5,000 worth of equipment. There is a turnover as a steal by Marquise. He will take it all the way, lay it off glass and in. Marquise White. Ball knocked away by Iggy. It's out of bounds. Iggy will knock it off of Barnett, and it will be Central basketball. 4 turnovers now as DC will check in, and Brady Fullerton will exit. 16-9 our score. Central out in front. 13:24 left to play.
Interested to ask Brady what the adjustments are going from Wyoming high school basketball to junior college ball in Region 9. I'm sure speed has got to be one of them.
Underneath, shot is good by Henry Tankersley. He's got 4 points. The lead is back. And a hand check on Marquise White down below is going to get his first foul. So you look at their roster, and they've got juniors and seniors, and you're thinking, how is a junior college playing juniors and seniors? Well, the answer would be they are actually not a college team. They are a united team.
Yeah, they're not scholarship athletes at all. So.
That is their year in school, and there's a turnover as McKay Shippen travels with it, the 5th turnover. And we're going to see Tyler Shippen check into the ball game. Tyler, a 6'2 freshman out of Idaho Falls, will check in for brother McKay Shippen. Five of the players from Rexburg are married on this team as they.
How many of ours?
I know, well, on the ladies' side, I will tell you here in a minute, is Romario's shot no good. Iggy has that ball batted out of bounds. It's going to stay Central basketball. One of our lady Rustlers is actually engaged and will be married in the spring. Don't ask me who at the moment, as Iggy turns around for 8, got it blocked away and taken away by
Spute. That's a volunteer thing.
Three on the way, no good from Tyler Shippen.
Might have spent too much time looking down to see where the three-point line looked rather than being comfortable with the shot.
Wide open, Romario spins underneath, gets a good dish up top, and it's 20-9, and we'll get a timeout on the floor. Central 20, Rexburg 9, 12:24 left to play in the first half of basketball. We'll be back after this quick break. You're tuned to Rustler Basketball on 88.1.
Sports on Rustler Media is brought to you in part by Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Mick Pryor. Make sense of investing with Edward Jones and Mick Pryor, located 1 block east of the Riverton Post Office, providing retirement and investing advice including stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and CDs. It's never too early or too late to start planning for financial future. Appointments are available at 856-6116. Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Mick Pryor, 856-6116.
Next up at Rustler Gym will be the ladies. They will take on LCCC here on Tuesday night.
Coming off a win.
That's right, coming off a win. Central men back home again, not until December 2nd when they take on Colorado Northwestern. Oddly enough, their next opponent is Colorado Northwestern, but it'll be on the road at Rangeley. Pick and roll.
The two schools closest to Dinosaur National Monument, by the way.
Central, their first turnover, by the way, as they got it taken away. 3 on the way, no good. Romario Spence will take away the rebound. Rexburg 1 for 6 from three-point land. Tankersley lost it. Second turnover for Central. Picked up off the ground by Jackson P., who will check in to the ball game. DC knocks that ball into the backcourt. 20 on the shot clock as Cody Spute will bring it across the timeline. He'll try to go baseline. He'll be fouled from behind by Devon Colley. That'll be his first. Brock Fenston will check back in from the Central bench for Henry Tanksley. Bugsy, they call him. He will check out. 20-9, C-Dub by 11. 11:45 left. Lob pass up into the hands of Jake Cochran, last night's leading scorer. He'll take it the distance, have it pinned to the backboard, but a rebound by Barnett. He'll shuffle through the paint. That's no good. And taking away that rebound is Marquise White. Second board of the night by Keese.
Be curious if they have like tryouts for this team as to who can or can't be on this squad.
Romario Spence spins in the paint, lost it, but he gathers it back in, and they'll reset themselves. Marquise White guarding by Cochran. Gets a double team as Barnett comes back out on him. Now Marquise will dribble down the lane. He'll fire one up. No good. Rebound by Jackson P.
Well, they got the mismatch with Iggy down low, but they never found him again.
Cross-court pass to Cochran. 11 minutes left to play first half. Central by 11. Spute. Barnett, 15-foot line, works on Iggy, spins, kicks it back out. Three-pointer on the way. Shippen is good. Tyler Shippen for 3, and it cuts the lead to 8, 20-12. Finston right side outside to Colley. DC back up top, Romario. Now left side to Finston. Iggy wide open for 16, and it's good and 1 underneath. Maybe, no, there's a foul underneath. It's going to be on Central, I think. It is. It's going to be on Romario Spence, but after the bucket went down by Iggy, who's got his 4th point. So Romario with his second personal foul. 5th team foul on Central. First 5 fouls of the game were on Rexburg. Second 5 fouls of the game have all been on Central. So 22-12 Rustlers. Baseline 3, Jackson P, no good. Iggy, 3rd board of the ball game. quickly back up ahead. Rustlers pushing the ball. DC spins, dishes to Finston with a left hand. Missed it. Jackson P. the rebound for Rexburg.
He was caught by surprise a little bit there.
That's an air ball and then thrown into the hands of Marquise.
Another personal foul whistled that time, and picking up his third, I believe, is Small.
Keaton Small will get his third personal. Spence out. Boris Euchre back into the ball game. Lob it in to Bear.
What time did the gals play today, by the way?
They were at 11 o'clock start time.
They could be here by the end of this ball game, possibly then.
Euchre for three is good. Bear for three. He's got 6. 25-12 on the inbound. 9:40 left. Central. Spute dishes to Jaborgi. He'll spin over the top of Iggy, no good, and Bear will collect the rebound. And then some dribbling exhibition by DC as he and Spute will battle. DC takes it the distance. Iggy the rebound, and putback is good. Good job in the air by Iggy to adjust. Boy, Central right now 48% from the field, 11 of 23. Is Jamison Washington going to check in here in a minute? On the other side, Rexburg 5 of 16. Cochran pump fakes, takes off down the lane. Rejected out of there by Iggy, taken away by Colley. DC zigzags, and they're going to call him for a carry. And the third turnover of the game on Central.
Nice move, though. So he tried to go away from the basketball and tried to reverse and come back underneath and maybe try to get the layup at a carry call before then.
Third turnover of the game by Central. Jamison Washington out of Denver East High School, the 6'1", 180-pound freshman.
But he played some nice minutes last night coming off the bench.
27-12 Central. 8 minutes, 52 seconds left to play in the first half. Spute knocks down Jamison, and Iggy taps the rebound to himself on that shot that misses.
Having to step over him kind of messed up his shot.
Alley-oop, they'll punch it. Instead, it'll be an assist for Boris Euchre, who gives it to Iggy, trailing the play as Boris was too far underneath. And he'll just give it to Iggy, and it's a 17-point game. Iggy with 8.
Nice job recognizing that, because not everybody does when they're too far underneath.
3 on the way, shipping no good. Cochran, though, will get the rebound, and he'll lose the handle on it for their 7th turnover. Iggy one-on-one, stops, rises for 10, and gets it. Left side on the outside. Hunt now with 10 here in the first half. And then stepping over the end line is Jaborgi.
Which happens a lot more than it's called, in all honesty.
Tanksley, Spence, and Villanueva checking in. Hunt, Boris, and Finston checking out. And a timeout called by Rexburg United. 8:06 left to play in the first half. Central 31, Rexburg 12. We'll return with more basketball on Rustler Media and Rustler Radio after this.
Sports on Rustler Radio is brought to you in part by Fremont Therapy Group. They've partnered with Lander and CWC to protect the health of student athletes. For the past 20 years, Fremont Therapy Group has been volunteering their time and resources on the sidelines of local high school sports to help keep student athletes safe and healthy. They also teach classes at Lander Valley High School to help students learn more about the field of athletic training. A proud partner of CWC Athletics is Fremont Therapy Group, Riverton, and Lander. More can be found at FremontTherapyGroup.com or on Facebook at Fremont Therapy Group.
Your home for Rustler basketball is 88.1 KCWC-FM, Riverton.
If you are just joining us, our CWC women victorious earlier this afternoon, 75-51 over Williston State. First victory of Central for the season, now 1-4, and more importantly, stopped the 12-game losing skid that dates back to last year for CWC women. Out the turnover, which I need to put on their list, is 8. Central will inbound. Dressed in their black uniforms with orange numbers and white trim, Marquise for 16 airmails it. And the rebound pulled down by Jamison Washington. His shot is no good. Villanueva, no good. Ball to the floor, stop in play.
The Rustlers almost on a power play there as they kept the ball off the glass.
Boy, everybody had a rebound in that exchange. And out of it all, C.J. Spute comes away tying it up and gets the arrow.
He wanted some candy on the deal, too, as he was talking just before the game.
He is a character. Baseline, Jaborji, he'll fire from 17, rims out. And the rebound taken down by Jamison Washington. Baseline, Villanueva, guarded by Jaborji. He'll run in, ball poked out of there by Zach Jaborji, and that'll be his first personal foul. And it's the 7th team foul, so to the line for one in the bonus will be John Villanueva. John 3 for 7 on the season free throw shooting. We'll go to the line. Central as a team, 68% coming into the weekend as Villanueva gets the first. Big John, he is called, 6'6" freshman, most recently from Hillcrest High School in Utah. Was recruited by Dawson for basketball and then Southern Utah for football was John Villanueva, as he gets both. 33-12 Central, 7:15 left to play in the first half of basketball from the Rustler Classic. Another good crowd on hand, not as big as last night, however. Nice move by Cochran, and he missed it, but he'll get his own rebound and then be fouled as Jake Cochran run down the lane. And the foul on Villanueva will be his second personal foul. 6th team foul on Central, but to the line goes Jake Cochran. Again, he had 22 last night, and he'll miss the first. Cochran, a 6'4" sophomore. He had 4 3-pointers out of 6 attempts last night. That one is no good as well, and Romario Spence will pull down the rebound. Rexburg 0 for 2 from the line on the day. Tanksley, baseline, scoots it up top to Marquise White, but he was on the sideline. And that shot didn't go in anyway, but it'll be the 4th turnover of the game by Central Wyoming College. Devon Colley and Brock Fenston checking back into the ball game for CWC.
Rexburg as a team only shooting 12 free throws overall last night. Last year would be pretty rough.
0-4 on the season, lost 3 at Western last week, and then lost yesterday.
So kind of like Snow College's women doing that all Wyoming tour.
Fenston with a steal, the distance, lay it up and in. Brock with his his first bucket of the ball game. Jaborji gives that ball up to Spute. CJ back to Jaborji. How's your view right now, Joel?
It's really good of the two players about to check in.
It's getting shaded. Spute will fire for a long 3. That's no good, and Romario Spence the rebound. 4 rebounds for Romario. Rexburg 2 of 11 from 3. Brock Fenston from 3. No good. Rebound goes to Devin Newquist in the corner. Central, as there's a 3 by Cody Spute.
I wasn't sure if you could see that one, so I was 30 from this angle.
35-15 on the first 3-pointer. There's now Romario. Romario's going to try a 3. That one misses badly. And the rebound taken away by Devin Newquist.
Doesn't CWC just have 1 3 in this game so far?
Right now 1 for 4. You are correct. Spute had it on the second A that we had told him we'd give him candy if he hit it from that other A today on the line underneath there. Nice reverse layup by Jaborji, but he can't get it to spin in, and it's taken out of there by Romario Spence. His 5th rebound already of the contest.
There are a couple of wives from players on the team are actually here for this game as well, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I think they traveled together with their spouses. Romario Spence gets open baseline, and he'll drop in his 4th point of the game. 37-15 Central. 5 minutes left to play. Dish into the paint. Through the hands of Newquist.
That was a good pass.
That was a great pass by Cochran, but Newquist wasn't ready for it. Romario Spence going to check out, as well as John Villanueva, as Iggy Hunt and Baris Uker check back into the ball game.
I wonder if Iggy's picking any of the Turkish language as he's played with these dual Turkish posts the last 2 years.
And the red shirt year on top of that.
That's true.
Tanksley to Uker. He got his man turned around, flips it to Iggy. Iggy will drive in, and a foul on a block is going to be called on Colton Barnett underneath. That's already 3 on Colton Barnett. Again, he didn't play.
Second player with 3 personal fouls for them.
He didn't play yesterday, and
I think Iggy has learned the word pass that he's taught his teammate as Oker passed it to him there.
Iggy at the line. 10 points tonight. He had 24 game high last night. Gets the first. Picking up some chatter somewhere, something, because that one's good by Iggy as well. 39-15, 4:45 left to play first half. Spute goes to the 15-foot mark. Goes underneath, flip it back out to Cochran. Good cover by Fenston. Cody Spute back up to the top with it. Finds Barnett, guarded by Hunt. Cross court through the hands. Ball is Devon about twisted his own ankle off going to get it, but he will end up with it. DC looks back, goes around. That ball's going to be knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll stay Central basketball. Boy, he about looked like he broke his own ankle trying to go get that.
Pick up that click so loudly as it went by.
Barras Yulker, no good. Iggy flies in. DC the rebound. That's swatted out of bounds by Spute. And it will stay Central basketball. Shot from 3, good. Henry Tanksley on the inbounds.
One thing I think we can see from CWC so far, they're going to be a tough team to key on because there's different weapons out there at different positions.
Yeah, as we mentioned, this Spute's going to try a long 3. Back of the iron, no good. A couple of Rexburg players battle for the rebound, but it's going to be picked up by McKay Shippen. McKay baseline to Jackson P. from 15. No good. Tanksley the rebound. A whole bunch of Rustlers going to check in, including Brady Fullerton, also
the Wyoming crew.
Kylan Schultz, and looks like Drew Switzer going to check in. DC for 15, good. DC with 5 points. And the Rustlers out in front. 43-15, ball knocked around, taken away, and it could be showtime as push for Henry Tanksley. 11 turnovers by Rexburg United, and there is a timeout called. 45-15 our score. Rexburg calling the timeout. 3:17 left to play in the first half of basketball. We'll be back after this on 88.1.
Coverage of CWC Sports on Rustler Media is brought to you in part by the Third Base Sports Bar, offering the NFL Sunday Ticket, college football, UFC fights, and more sports on 6 different TVs. There is also foosball and darts along with appetizers and your favorite beverage. Your last stop before home, the Third Base Sports Bar on North Federal in Riverton.
What's it like to kill someone?
Emptiness.
Painful. It doesn't seem real.
There was no intent. It was never supposed to happen.
You don't go out to kill someone.
I keep seeing her head coming through the windshield.
I'm so very sorry.
There's nothing I can do to make it better.
Please, don't drink and drive.
It doesn't change the fact that I'm a killer.
This is Cody Beers with YDOT. A killer is a killer. Never, ever drink and drive.
KCWC-FM, Riverton.
Central scoring 45 in the first half, but I think more importantly and more impressively for the coach, just giving up 15 points here in the first 17 minutes of basketball.
And to tell you the truth, I don't think this Rexburg team is all that bad. They do some things very soundly. They're not obviously as athletic as CWC. They run plays. Shippen out to P. That shot no good. Battling for the rebound. It's going to go off of Fullerton and will stay Viking basketball. 3 for 14 from three-point land right now, the Vikings, with 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Lob in, poked away, taken away by Schultz. Up ahead, Finston with a one-hand jam. Brock has 4.
Three on the way, Cochran. That one's no good. Battle for the rebound. Key gets it over the top of Switzer, and then another battle for the rebound. And that one will be Central basketball on the arrow. (47-15) Central out in front. 2:40 left to play in the first half. Fullerton to Switzer. Trying to go down low to Kylan Schultz. Can't. Left side, Barris gives the ball up top to Switzer. Bounces it to Yulker. Barris out to the three-point line. Fenston. Brock for three is good. Good ball movement as they move it around. Everybody got a touch on it. And Brock has 7, and the lead is 50-15. C-Dub out in front.
Kind of a semi-no-look pass by Olker on that play.
Cochran shovels the ball underneath to Barnett. Missed it. Got his own rebound, and then will be fouled. Colton Barnett, second board of the game. Foul whistled on Drew Switzer, and that will be his first personal. 7th team foul on C-Dub with 2:11 left. Here comes Marquise White. Central going deep into the bench. I think everybody has played that's in uniform, have they not?
I believe so. Also much smaller lineup than they're used to out there right now.
Banking in the three is Barnett. They can throw Grady Heflin in. He's just walked into the gym, former Rustler from a year ago.
That's how pleased everybody was to see him yesterday. It was his former coach, former players, current players, everybody. Pretty much a good guy.
Barnett rattles that second one home. Not as bad as the banker on the first opportunity, but Fullerton across the timeline. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Rustlers up 50-17. Marquise White came in for Brock Fenston. Brady down the lane, shovels it to the right side. Dish to Kylan Schultz. How about that play? Assist Fullerton to Kylan Schultz, his first bucket of the home season. Ball knocked away by Yulker. He will take it himself. He gets caught up. He'll go behind the back, flips it out to Fullerton. Brady has that ball knocked away. It's loose. It's picked up in the front court. Dish shovel. Cochran laid up. Nice plays. Cochran following the action gets the easy bucket. Well, I wouldn't even say easy. He just gets the bucket. It was pretty difficult, actually.
Remember this team gave Western a pretty good ball game yesterday. I'm talking about Rexburg United.
Central taking it to him is Fullerton. Free at the three, won't shoot it. Morris Yulker for three. That's front of the iron, no good as it skims to the outside and is picked up by Cochran. 52-19, 1:05 left to play. Spute long three, rattles out, no good. Rebound, Marquise White. Marquise with a bundle of rebounds and trailing the play, Boris Yulker lays it in off glass. He's got 8. As quickly Rustlers in transition get a bucket. Barnett in the paint, got to get rid of it. Finally does, then gets out of the paint. Cochran's thought about it, doesn't. Barnett working on Schultz, and an offensive foul on Colton Barnett will be his 4th personal foul.
Not a whole lot of contact for a college call.
Going to see Chapman Tag check back into the ball game. Well, actually into the ball game for the first time for Rexburg. Chapman, a 6'1 sophomore. He is also out of Loudoun County, Virginia, along with Jake Cochran. And also Cody Spute. No, it was, who's that checked back into the ball game?
Going to be our gentleman in foul trouble, Keaton Small.
Well, Jack Polson is in there. And then getting free in the lane again, Central. Kylan has 4. 56-19, 14 seconds left. Tag. Directing traffic, 8 seconds. Shot clock is history for the first half. 5. Tag finds Spute. He'll rise for an 18-footer. No good, and that's how the half will end with Central well out in front, 56-19. 56-19, Central out in front of Rexburg United here as we close up the Rustler Classic 2017. We'll be back with a look at first half stats after this timeout. You've been listening and watching Rustler basketball on 88.1, and we'll be back in just a bit.
Do you have any idea what happens to you in a crash, even when you're driving as low as 30 miles per hour? As the car decelerates, you leave your seat and smash into the windshield. Shockwaves ripple through the brain, instantly damaging cells. Your body is like a pinball bouncing off the dash, roof, and seats. Then your body slams into belted occupants, severely injuring them too. The result could be severe brain or spinal injuries or death. Why would you ever get into a car without putting on a seatbelt?
This is Cody Beers with YDOT. Belt up or suffer the pain.
Coverage of CWC Sports on Rustler Media is brought to you in part by the Third Base Sports Bar, offering the NFL Sunday Ticket, college football, UFC fights, and more sports on 6 different TVs. There is also foosball and darts, along with appetizers and your favorite beverage. Your last stop before home, the Third Base Sports Bar on North Federal in Riverton. Media coverage of Rustler Athletics is sponsored in part by Wyoming Wireless, providing smartphones, mobile devices, and wireless service. They are a Verizon authorized retailer. Product brands include Apple, Motorola, Samsung, and more. With 18 locations across Wyoming, including 2 in Riverton, 1 on Main Street in downtown, and the other on North Federal Boulevard. They also have locations in Lander and Thermopolis and online at wyowireless.com.
Football players without shoulder pads and helmets are like you in a vehicle without your seatbelt. I'm Craig Bull, coach of the Wyoming Cowboys. Safety equipment is important on the football field as well as every time you climb behind the wheel of your vehicle. Safety equipment helps prevent serious injuries in football. The big hits delivered on you during a crash will be minimized when you wear your seatbelt. We want you to be safe. Buckle up for your family, every trip, every time, and go Pokes. This message is from the Wyoming Seatbelt Coalition.
It's time for the Third Base Sports Bar Halftime Show on North Federal in Riverton. Third Base is your last stop before home.
CWC out in front, 56-19 at the intermission as they are taking out the Rexburg Vikings here today. Let's take a look at some of the first half scoring numbers. Iggy Hunt, the only one on the court in double figures. Iggy has 12. He also has 6 rebounds so far. 8 points for Henry Tanksley. And I thought he had a 3 early on, but I looked in his scorebook over there and just a 2 across his way. Yeah, I thought that exact
far
same
side,
thing.
right?
Yeah, but Henry with 8 points. Devon Colley has 5. Barris Euchre with 7. Where's Barris? He has 8. Brock Fenston with 7. Kylan Schultz with 4. John Villanueva with 2. Brady Fullerton with 2. Romario Spence and Marquise White 4 apiece. Devon Colley has 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Rustlers have scored in this basketball game so far. Leading the way, Iggy Hunt has 12, and he also has 6 rebounds. Central has out-rebounded Rexburg 30-16 unofficially in the ball game. On the other side, leading the way for Rexburg United, Cody Spute has 5 points. 4 points for Colton Barnett. 3 points Tyler Shippen. 2 points for Jake Cochran and McKay Shippen. And 3 points for CJ Spute as well, as he hit a 3-pointer in the ball game. Also leading the way rebounding, Jackson P. and Jake Cochran and CJ Spute each have 3 rebounds apiece. But Central out in front of the rebounding wars 30-16, and the game 56-19.
Stats are a little bit skewed, I think, in a blowout game, too, I believe. I mean, everybody plays. You're not going to get big numbers for anybody because of that.
Turnovers in the ballgame. Rexburg has 13, Central with just 5. And, wow, peppering our shot clock and everything else, trying to get the shots to go down from a little closer than half court at the halftime show. 56-19 our score. Central is out in front. Back with more on the Third Base Sports Bar halftime show here on 88.1 in just a moment.
Sports coverage on Rustler Radio is sponsored in part by the Buffalo Restaurant. Located inside the Wind River Hotel and Casino, there are 4 different dining choices: the Mongolian Grill, Tuscan Hearth Italian, the Smokehouse, and the Rio Taco. Open Thursday through Sunday from noon to 9 p.m. The Buffalo Restaurant, inside the Wind River Hotel and Casino, 1 mile south of Riverton.
Rustler Athletics is supported by Bach Monument, applying a relentless passion for excellence to honor special people in special ways. Bach Monument, part of the Wyoming community since 1875 on West Main in Riverton, and online at bachmonument.com. Proud to support Rustler Sports on 88.1.
Sports on Rustler Media is brought to you in part by Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Mick Pryor. Make sense of investing with Edward Jones and Mick Pryor, located 1 block east of the Riverton Post Office, providing retirement and investing advice including stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and CDs. It's never too early or too late to start planning for financial future. Appointments are available at 856-6116. Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Mick Pryor, 856-6116.
Sports on Rustler Radio is brought to you in part by Fremont Therapy Group. They've partnered with Lander and CWC to protect the health of student athletes. For the past 20 years, Fremont Therapy Group has been volunteering their time and resources on the sidelines of local high school sports to help keep student athletes safe and healthy. They also teach classes at Lander Valley High School to help students learn more about the field of athletic training. A proud partner of CWC Athletics is Fremont Therapy Group, Riverton, and Lander. More can be found at FremontTherapyGroup.com or on Facebook at Fremont Therapy Group.
This is the Third Base Sports Bar Halftime Show on North Federal Boulevard. Third Base is your last stop before home.
Gales Carpet One is a proud supporter of 88.1 Student Radio. Gales offers beautiful, made affordable. They feature cabinets, countertops, tiled walk-in showers, as well as hardwood, luxury vinyl tile, and of course, carpet. They offer lots of products for the do-it-yourselfers. Gales Carpet One is a dedicated supporter of Fremont County and Central Wyoming College. Located in downtown Riverton on Facebook or at galescarpet1.com.
56-19 Central out in front of Rexburg United from the Rustler Classic. I'm John Gabrielson alongside Joel Kindle. Let's take a look at first half shooting numbers. And wow, looking at this for the game, that's 32. Okay, I was like, wow, 15 shots, but that was 15 twos. Central shooting 43 shots, Rexburg shooting 32. Central goes 23 of 43, 54%, 2 of 6 from three-point land. They hit 8 of 10 free throws in the first half. On the other side, Rexburg, 7 of 32, just 22% shooting from the field. They were 3 of 17 from three-point land, and they hit 2 out of the 4 free throws that they shot.
And it shows you what kind of an offense they run when more shots are taken from the land of plenty than they are inside.
56-19 our score. Central out in front. Let's see here. I guess throwing out some news and notes that we had. The Gillette men ranked 19th to start the basketball season.
They've gotten off to a little bit of a rocky start.
I haven't even paid attention to that.
They're talking to their AD, in fact, last weekend as we were at the volleyball tournament. We were talking about that. So talked to Jason Dorr about it today, the Western coach, about the doling out the minutes and stuff like that. They're playing a very tough schedule, but I'm not sure of their record right now, but there's been some growing pains with this lineup they've got right now.
I see that Hutchison, I think, is ranked number 1 in the country, and that's where the national championships are played.
And probably some school from Texas in the top 4 typically as well. Like a Panola Junior College or something of that sort.
I've been doing, as you know, some sports history, kind of delving back. I've gone back game by game, and I've only gone back the last 2 years, but you were asking about high points and low points, and the high point that I have right now is 123 is the most I've seen a Rustler team score in the last 2 years, including this year's 123 against Little Bighorn. But I guess one of the bigger stats that stood out to me was the lowest point output that they've had was 44 against Casper College 2 years ago.
And, of course, only 2 years. That's
right.
Interesting because that wasn't a bad team 2 years
right.
ago. And the game has evolved. You think that you're going to find lower scores maybe way back when because there was not a shot clock, for example. And I think the rules benefited the defense more than they do now.
And, again, those are very preliminary last few years type of stats as I look online, and I will be visiting the basement of the Riverton Ranger when I get some free time in my life. So I'm not sure when that will be, but we will keep efforting on that. 56-19, Central is back out on the playing surface, getting ready to go. Let's see, CWC women victorious earlier today, 75-51 over Williston State. And Kalani Tarawa led the way for Central with 21. Riley Burmester had 14. Marissa Arnold, her season high, 12 points for Central as they get the W. Our cross-country runners running in the Nationals. Look at my text from Al Lara. Lucas Matthews finished 105th. And close to 300 runners on the men's side and almost 300 runners on the women's side. Brianna Beaslin led the Central race with a 186th place finish. But I guess in the building process, you look, and all of the Rustlers were faster than the previous year's Rustlers, which had set kind of the all-time Rustler marks. But Coach Al Lara and his team in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Wyoming Cowboys later this afternoon or later this evening taking on...
late game, isn't it?
Yeah, 8:15 kickoff time from the Academy, taking on the Air Force Falcons tonight on the road in Colorado Springs.
Therefore, a real traffic jam. And they played Notre Dame because their football field is just off the interstate. So you can imagine when they played Notre Dame what it was like getting in and out. I mean, it was really backing up the interstate, I think, up to about Sheridan, I think.
Almost eclipse-type traffic then, huh?
Oh, boy, that was something.
56-19 Central is out in front. Iggy leading the way scoring. He's got 12, 8 from Barras Ukair and 8 from Henry Tanksley. And that's the stats that we have at the moment. Stay with us. More basketball is on the way. The second half coming up. Central leading 56-19. More basketball here on Rustler Radio next.
Rustler Sports on the Radio comes from the restaurants of the Wind River Hotel and Casino. Dining is available no matter time of day or week. The Red Willow is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Buffalo features 4 different choices Thursday through Sunday from noon to 9 p.m. And the Genicoo Cafe is open 24/7. The restaurants of the Wind River Hotel and Casino, located 1 mile south of Riverton on Highway 789.
Support of Rustler Athletics is brought to you in part by Rendezvous Dental of Riverton, providing dental care to patients spanning all ages. Dr. Colton Crane and Dale Sackett combined for over 50 years of dental practice in Fremont County. Appointment and information can be found at rendezvousdental.com.
Sports on Rustler Media is brought to you in part by Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Mick Pryor. Make sense of investing with Edward Jones and Mick Pryor, located 1 block east of the Riverton Post Office, providing retirement and investing advice including stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and CDs. It's never too early or too late to start planning for financial future. Appointments are available at 856-6116. Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Mick Pryor, 856-6116.
In football, injuries can mean missed games or even the end of a career. Injuries caused by impaired driving can disrupt your life or change it forever. Hundreds of people in Wyoming are hurt in alcohol-related crashes each year, impacting the lives of friends, family, and touching everyone in the community. Don't let the decision to drive impaired cost you or your loved ones a sidelining injury. Stay off the injured list. Always designate a sober driver for the win. A message from YDOT.
Coverage of CWC Sports on Rustler Media is brought to you in part by the Third Base Sports Bar, offering the NFL Sunday Ticket, college football, UFC fights, and more sports on 6 different TVs. There is also foosball and darts along with appetizers and your favorite beverage. Your last stop before home, the Third Base Sports Bar on North Federal in Riverton.
This has been the Third Base Sports Bar Halftime Show on North Federal Boulevard. Third Base is your last stop before home. The Third Base Sports Bar reminds you to celebrate responsibly.
56-19 CWC out in front here of the final game of the Rustler Classic. Iggy Hunt, Brock Finston, Devon Colley, Marquise White, and Barras Yuker. The 5 on the court for Central, dressed in their road blacks with orange numbers and white trim. And on the other side, the Rexburg United Vikings. And they will start a little bit different lineup, I think, than what they started with, as they're going to start both of these Spute boys, Cody and CJ.
I'm going to dispute that. Is that white trim on the uniforms, or is that gray trim with that uniform overhaul?
Might be overwashed white uniforms. I'm not sure.
Uniforms.
Jaborgi is in there. Zach, also number 13, Keaton Small. and Devin Newquist, who has the basketball as we begin the second half of hoops from the Rustler Classic at CWC. 56-19. Small pump fakes the three. He'll launch the three. That's no good. Finston will get the rebound.
He knew he missed it immediately as he followed, directly after he shot it.
Iggy underneath. Ball poked out of bounds and takes out our cameraman, Nick Enos. Speaking of, Cheyenne Durant, our student director. She's also handling her own technical directing duties, pushing the buttons. Amanda Nikoloff on Graphics Essential will lose that ball out of bounds.
I'm surprised that's not just a turnover automatically hitting the back of the backboard.
Spute to Small. Keaton guarded by Iggy. Goes back up top. Newquist trying to work on Devon Colley. Ball to the floor. It's loose. Newquist gives it up to Small. He'll go with a reverse layup and make it.
Give Newquist some points for a hustle play there as he scrambled after that ball and basically was able to push it to a teammate who converts the layup.
Nick Enos underneath the hoop on one side. Nate Himes underneath the hoop on the other side. As they'll dish it off to Iggy underneath. He'll spin, fire it off wildly, and get it to go. He didn't even square up to the hoop when he let that one fly.
He is unorthodox as a shooter.
Thomas Dent and Connie O'Donohue high above Rustler Jim, our student broadcast in the Amanda Nikoloff new media program here at Central Wyoming College. Jaborji, right side angle, travels with it, turns it over. 14 turnovers on Rexburg United. 18:42 left second half, 58-21. I think we actually gained more fans at halftime. A few more people in the stands. Two good crowds last night. A great crowd as Marquise White just comes downtown and drains it for three. Stepping up for a three and draining that is Cody Spute. His second.
Talking about stepping into a shot. He certainly did that there.
Thomas Dent now directing. Cheyenne Durant is now up on camera as they switched at halftime, so thanks to them. Amanda's driving baseline left side is Iggy Hunt, and he'll be fouled, and he'll go to the line. Foul whistled on Keaton Small. Fourth personal on Keaton Small. And Iggy will go to the line. A lot of people last night talking about Iggy after he shot 4 technical free throws, essentially, and after the second 2, he high-fived. Going to get a technical foul, and that'll be it for Keaton Small. Can't stare at people, he guesses, he says. And that will be a technical foul, and that'll be his 5th. So Iggy might get to go shoot more free throws. No, they're not. DC is going to go shoot them now. So DC will shoot the technical fouls. Shots, and he'll get the first. And I didn't see what happened either, but
either did I.
Keaton Small saying, I guess I can't stare at people. He said I was staring into the crowd, and apparently the ref thought he was staring down a Rustler. And
I think you can do that, though, too, can't you?
I would assume you can. So DC gets both, and now Iggy will go to the line to shoot his free throws. And so 63-24 after the technical foul. Second game in a row, the opponents have given Central technical free throws. The first that Iggy shot yesterday were not technicals. They just happened to be with no time left on the clock.
Yep, so no lanes full. Nobody in the lanes.
15 for Iggy as he gets the first free throw. He's 3 for 3 on the day. DC and Craig Spute conversating at the midcourt stripe. Iggy misses that one. And the rebound snared by Newquist. Long pass up ahead, and a foul is going to be called. DC goes down hard.
And he was the fouler, actually.
Right.
But,
Spute got it across the chops. And he's going to go to the free throw line. Devon Colley, after the foul, will get his second personal.
They exchanged fives, by the way, before he goes to the free throw line.
Yeah, they were just talking pleasantly at half court right before that.
And they're still talking pleasantly right now from a distance.
Giggling and laughing with each other a little bit.
So no dispute there.
No dispute for CJ Spute as he will make the first free throw. He's got 4 points. I like his socks, too, by the way. Not your typical basketball socks.
On the cat in the hat variety.
Stripe it all the way. He gets the second one, does CJ. He's got 5, cuts the lead to 38. J-Mo going to check back in, Jamison Washington. Next dead ball, as will Henry Tanksley. DC goes down low, gives it to Yulker. He'll have it kind of snared by Cody Spute, but Morris will glove it and bank it and score it. Spute to Craig. CJ down the lane runner, flips it back outside. Jaborgi for 3. That one will not go in. Newquist, though, a tough offensive rebound, but he can't finish it off. And the rebound pulled down by Iggy Hunt. Underneath, Boris Yulker gets free and banks one off glass. He's got 12, 4 in the second half, and it's a 42-point CWC advantage. P, ball over the top of Jaborgi. He'll tip it to himself. Pump fake with Yulker, and a foul on Barris will be called. And going to the line will be Zach Jaborgi. As Devon Colley roughed up Henry Tanksley, his own teammate, on the sideline here in front of the check-in stand. Henry didn't know it was DC doing it. He was about to take exception. Big old grin on DC's face in front of the bench. Jaborgi free throw number 1 is on the way and no good. 4 of 7 from the stripe is the visitors from Rexburg. Brock Finston will check out, along with Devon Colley. Just 3 threes on the day for Central, 3 for 7 after they had a bundle of them yesterday. Lane violation as Newquist took off a half an hour before that one.
A little different violation there because he took off out of it to go around rather than stepping in.
So wave off any free throw, and it's 68-26. 3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Marquise White penetrates, dishes. Oh, that ball got knocked out of there. Taken away, 7th turnover on C-Dub. Newquist across the timeline, finds Spute. Baseline to P. Jackson for 15, good. Jackson P with the bucket, his first of the match. Cuts the lead back to 40.
Spute kind of barks out their signals defensively.
Tanksley penetrates off glass, missed it over the top of the rim. Ball airballed, taken away by Newquist, his 3rd board of the second half. Setting for 3 is Pay, and Jackson P, rather, and he'll drain that. He's got 5 back-to-back now. Good transition bucket for the visitors. Marquise White gets a pick, pulls it back upside to Tanksley. Iggy gives a pick at the top to Jamison. He'll fire the left-handed 17th footer. That's good. Jamison Washington, his first bucket on the home floor for CWC.
I was about to ask you that. I didn't think he had scored last night. Had a couple of assists, however.
Had a couple of good looks and didn't get him to fall, and there's his first bucket. Spute at the top, guarded by Marquise. Villanueva and Spence going to check in. Next dead ball for Central. 8 on the shot clock. Cody Spute for 3, though, will drain it. 11 for Cody Spute. Pick up the conversation between our Central subs coming into the ball game here in a minute. J-Mo goes to the baseline. He'll be rejected. Iggy was going to pick up the board and put it in. 72-34. 15-20 left to play. Iggy now with 17 to go along with 8 rebounds. And a foul away from the basketball on Marquise White will be his 2nd personal foul. Just the 3rd team foul on Central.
Got himself in foul trouble yesterday.
Iggy will check out, as will Aras Uker. Referee and Coach Nelson talking about the parameters of that foul called on Marquise, which is his 2nd, by the way. I didn't mention that earlier. Spute with it. CJ spins, fades for 8, missed it, and a foul. And it's going to be, I believe, on Barnett. That is. That'll be number 5 on him. So he'll be the 2nd Viking to foul out of the ball game, as
I think he got more of a piece of his teammate than he did of a CWC wrestler there.
Yes, Keaton Small fouled out on his 4th, with then a technical to provide his 5th, and now Colton Barnett will foul out of the ball game.
One of the rules different than pro to college is a pro technical does not count towards your foul total.
They were going to play with 4 as Jackson P. thought he was being subbed out by Cochran, but Cody Spute says, no, we need 5 out here alertly, and they do have 5 back out on the court. Marquise into the paint. Villanueva spins. That one's partially blocked and then pulled out of the air by C.J. Spute. Long pass.
This is only a 16-15 half, by the way.
P shot, no good. Rebound, Romario Spence. You are correct. Underneath, Villanueva lost it, gathers it back in, and then loses it again. Ball taken away by Newquist. He'll go cross court to Spute. He'll fire a long 3, clangs it off the back of the iron. Long rebound, Romario Spence.
Got a shot similar to Jake Woodward, except it doesn't go in.
Jake Woodruff?
Woodruff, I'm sorry.
14:20 left to play. Left side, Marquise. Looks, zigs, zags, floats. Villanueva was not expecting that, and Cochran's going to end up with a basketball. 9th turnover of the game by Central. P with it. Jackson. 5 count is on. Just got rid of it to Newquist. Newquist, ball knocked out of his hands, taken away by Spence. Rustlers with numbers, and Romario dribbling chest high is going to get called for the carry, and that'll be the 10th turnover on Central. Kylan Schultz back into the ball game for Central along with Brock Finston. Villanueva and Marquise White will check out. McKay Shippen's going to check back in along with Tyler Shippen for Newquist, and I think C.J. Spute came out. Nope, who did? Oh, finally, it's going to be Cochran, as they were going to play with 6 that time after trying to play with 4 earlier.
You could see the conditioning factor there, too, as Rexburg had a rough time getting back on defensively and perhaps didn't want to get back on defense.
Brady Fullerton will check back in. Next dead ball for Central. Spute launches a long 3, no good. Rebound, Kylan Schultz. First board of the game for Kai. Jamo broke some ankles at the top, then tries to finish it off and does with the left hand. Jamison Washington has 4 points. The lead back to 40. Cody Spute for 3 the other way. No good. Long rebound run down by Henry Tanksley. Bugsy across the timeline. They'll lose it. Turnover number 11. Long 3 again. Spute. That one's a Jake Woodruff 3.
And he just basically, oh, what a relief.
Finally got one to drop as he laments to the crowd. That is his 2nd of the ball game. He had one in the first half. There's a steal by Cody Spute. He'll go the distance, laid up and in. 12 turnovers by Central, and they have come in a flurry. 13 for Cody Spute. And they have outscored Central 20-18 now in this half.
I was about to say that, but I was busy doing the math.
It's right here. You want to look on the sheet. See here?
I got it last time, if you recall, before you went to
Well, you didn't have to do math if you just look here. 13 turnovers now. As taking it is Shippen. He'll miss the layup. And it's taken away by Tanksley.
Take care of the ball.
Cody Spute, or C.J. Spute, as you mentioned, calling out signals. Finston hooks it to Schultz, gathers it back in, and Kai will bank it off glass. He's got 6.
Nice regather that time because he kind of lost control of the ball, got it back and put it up and in.
3 on the way. Cody Spute, no good. Finston the rebound. Does that one look like it might get that shooter's roll, but it does not. Finston still has it on a bounce, guns it right side. Jamison now Spence. Romario back to the basket, spins, uses the left elbow and puts it in. Nice job by Romario Spence. He's got 6. Lead back to 39. They lead by as much as they're down by as much as they have if you're Rexburg. Shippen for 3. That one didn't have much arch either as Tyler drills his 2nd 3 of the afternoon. Villanueva to check back in with Switzer and Fullerton. Next dead ball. Jamison throws it underneath to Finston, hooks it to Spence. Romario back to Finston. Brock penetrates. He will fly in the air and bank it off glass and in. Finston now with 9, and we'll get a timeout. No, another violation as they stepped over the line. 16 turnovers on Rexburg as Tanksley, Jamison, Washington, and Romario Spence come out for Central.
These guys will be calling offsides on kickoffs later today.
Illegal jump formation, perhaps. Kylan Schultz bodying up, glass, and good. Kylan with 8. Nice shot by Kylan Schultz, creating some offense for himself. 8 points. Cochran working on Drew Switzer. Goes back door, gunning it to the baseline 3. Shippen is no good, and Switzer rather, will come away with a rebound for Central. 82-42, Central.
Former teammate of a couple of University of Wyoming football players, Switzer is.
Yeah, Harshman and Logan Wilson. Fenston with it, 10:39 left to play. Brock guns it back up to Switzer. Drew, he'll penetrate, dishes to Kylan. He's got 10 points, assist. Switzer, Kylan with 10.
I like the unselfishness of this team a lot.
Season high for Kylan Schultz, and Spute drains another one, and he's a favorite of the CWC student section, is C.J. Spute, who hits his third 3 of the game.
The crowd's turned on us.
Switzer in the paint, kicks it back out to Fullerton. Brady, baseline 17. That one's no good. Rebound by Fenston, though. That was an athletic move underneath by Brock. He'll try to jam it. He will get it to go down, but not in flush fashion, as it kind of rattled around and then finally fell.
Yeah. A friendly rim on a dunk is somewhat unusual.
3, no good. Schultz, the rebound, as they're just kind of hucking him up there now on the other side.
And maybe playing out this string in a blowout type of a game for both sides.
Kylan, left side baseline, guns it back to Fullerton. Brady rises for 17. That's good. That's the Brady Fullerton shot you saw a lot of if you were at Wolverine Gym last year. Creating and then popping, and that's a nice shot by Brady. Spute again for 3, good, and the CWC student section erupts yet again. Cody Spute, CJ Spute has 14. He's got 4 threes and 2 free throws.
He's talking the whole time he plays as well.
The personable guy is CJ.
Yes, Iggy should match up. It'd be a pretty good conversation.
Fenston guns it baseline. Switzer for 3, no good. And the rebound comes to C.J. Spute. He'll launch another 3 out the top. Drains that one. And the CWC student section can't believe it. And I don't think Coach likes it, as Villanueva gets free underneath. A great find. And John Villanueva has 4 points. Villanueva, I don't think anybody actually had him defensively, and so finally Coach points it out. Pump fake and a travel violation on C.J. Spute. Central crowd is having a good old time with C.J. Spute here.
He's got his tongue out from wearing out to shooting, I believe.
Fenston and Schultz will come out as Yulker and Jamison Washington check back in for Central. 8:22 left, 90 points for CWC. Switzer baseline 15, no good. Spute with a rebound.
Filling up the stats.
Yeah, he is. That's his 3rd rebound of the second half. He's got 6 for the game. Shippen works, drives down the lane, throws it out of bounds. And that will be the 17th turnover on Rexburg. 8:05 left to play in this one. Central 90-51 they lead.
Will probably boost their offensive output yet today.
Averaging 104 a game on the season so far. Fullerton makes a move around his man and then is going to be fouled from behind. Good recovery by Shippen. Tyler's going to get the foul, though. And Coach Craig said it for Rexburg United. He said the Shippen boys are about as fast as anybody I've ever seen.
That guard yesterday was pretty fast for LCCC.
I would have to concur on that one. So McKay Shippen, first personal foul.
You know how fast these players are. You wonder how fast a player like a John Wall or a Russell Westbrook must be at the NBA level.
Absolutely. Then. Fullerton misses the first free throw. He will have another. Schultz back in for Villanueva.
I suppose a healthy Derrick Rose could be thrown in there as well, if there is such a thing.
Second, good. 5 for Fullerton. 91-51. It's kind of hovered around this 40-point barrier the entire second half.
It was 37 at halftime.
They've outscored Rexburg 35-32 has Central. Spute, that's P with it. Flips it back to Shippen. He will travel or double dribble or something into that. It looked awkward as he ran into Fullerton.
Yeah, it looked more odd than a double dribble to me.
18 turnovers on the Vikings with 7:30 left to play in the contest. Jamison Washington for a three, no good. Back of the iron, Boris Yulker with the rebound, though.
Conley dribbled it out himself to start the offense over.
Left side, Jamison, dangerously close to the sideline. Finds Schultz for 17. That one's no good. And P the rebound.
Always see that Warland center that Riverton played against at one of these junior colleges.
I believe he went to Sheridan.
That's what I was thinking.
Underneath, Jackson P. partially blocked by Fullerton. Great job by Brady.
I remember that was the Warland team 2 years ago that won both men's and women's.
Shot misses. Yulker with the rebound and the putback.
I think Oker pulled himself out of the game.
CJ, no good.
It feels like I'm sure it was a hip point or anything, but he's grimacing as he comes up the court.
Much to the dismay of the crowd, he misses that three. Jamison from just inside three, no good. Schultz, the rebound. Shot from Fullerton, no good for three. And CJ Spute, another rebound. Switzer playing defense on Spute. They'll knock down. Spute gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in. Cody Spute has 15 to lead the way, and we'll get a timeout. An injury, as you're talking about that hip of Yulker. The referees finally noticed the injury.
Well, I think Coach Nelson actually told the official the next time, we get the possession of the ball control, we'll call a timeout.
So
maybe he didn't have to use it. Maybe the official just gave it to.
Yeah, I think they just called an injury. Barris Yulker is going to get looked at by the Fremont therapy staff. Adam Simon, who spends a lot of time with these CWC student athletes.
A lot of time and conversation with me, much to his dismay.
Poor guy.
That's what I was saying.
93-43, again, still a 40-point lead. Fullerton to Villanueva. He'll be fouled as stealing that ball out of there is Chapman Tag. That'll be his first for Chapman.
Simon, a Miami Hurricane fan, by the way, so he's looking for the big game tonight against Notre Dame.
Notre Dame and Miami, I believe, a 6 o'clock start.
A lot of big games. They're kind of the elimination games of that Final Four, it seems like, today.
Villanueva misses the first free throw. Central 12 of 17 from the stripe today. 39 of 70 from the field, 56%. 3 of 10, though, from three-point land for C-Dub. Second one is also no good, but the rebound kind of hammered around out there.
Probably could have called a foul if they wanted.
Schultz tries the three, no good. And Spute another rebound. Spute, long three, back of the iron. Long ball, no good. Pinballed out of bounds. And I believe, it's going to go Central. I thought it should be Central basketball, but they're going to go Rexburg.
Really no dispute out there. I thought the same thing.
Central led 56-19 at half. They've outscored Rexburg 37-34 in the second half, but doubt removed early and a lot of intensity gone from this one. As Spute behind the head pass. He's got his own cheering section, does CJ Spute.
He's got kind of the Idaho Globetrotter.
He's playing for a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Mike Yell says. Spute for three, that's no
good.
The
other Spute.
Yep, it's Cody. He's no good.
He's been reduced to the other Spute at this point.
4:57 left to play. Still a 40-point game. Brady rises for 17, missed it. Villanueva has it stripped on the rebound.
That was a funky sound on your mic, too, by the way.
Cody Spute underneath, missed it. Kylan Schultz will pull down the rebound. 4 rebounds for Kylan, all in the second half to go along with his 10 points. DC was our Gatorade player of the game last night. Cochran will knock that away from Switzer, maybe. Switzer tries for 15, no good, and it's going to go out of bounds to Rexburg. Yeah, we really never
Something
did.
changed after we went off the air, apparently.
We never really did pick one. We had
picking the volleyball team again.
Iggy, we had Marquise, then the coach said DC. We were kind of all over the map with that.
So we thought we would double up today for the mystery movie matinee.
4 Rustlers in double figures. They need 2 more guys to get in double figures to keep their 6-man in double figures streak. That one by Cochran's an air ball. He'll swat it back inside.
Speaking of 6-man, the championship played this morning in Laramie, KC, defeating Eden Farson. Maddie Gines, our former volleyball player's brother, Clancy Gines, on that Eden Farson team that fell.
15th turnover as Central throws that out of bounds. 4 minutes left to play. Tag.
I believe KC was a pretty good winning streak at this point, too, now, aren't they?
Yeah, back-to-back champs of that division. Cody Spute with it. 10 on the shot clock. They'll give it out to CJ Spute. He'll launch another 3 and get it. 20 for CJ. 5 3-pointers in the second half, 6 for the game. For the man with his own cheering section on the road. Drew rises for 15. It's good. Drew Switzer, his first bucket. And it's 95-56. Baseline Cochran for 3. That's good.
Well, good for Drew Switzer. And I think the guys that are not starters are who makes the starters better.
10 3-pointers in the second half by Rexburg. 10 of 21 they are from three-point land. Villanueva spins with the left hand. Nice play, Big John. He's got 6.
Nice reach on that shot to put it up and around.
97-59, just under 3 minutes left to play in the ball game. Cody Spute, guarded by Fullerton, to Cochran over Switzer for 3. Front of the iron, no good. Romario Spence the rebound. Up ahead, Drew takes it and scores it. Drew Switzer with 4 points now. 99-59. Cochran working on Fullerton. Gives it back up to Cody Spute on the right side. He'll penetrate, runs around his man, and lays it off glass. Good body control to go around the pick of Fullerton and try to take the charge.
If you're curious, Craig Spute had 7 points in their loss yesterday.
Kylan Schultz back in next, dead ball. 2:11 left to play in the ball game. Central will advance to 4-0 on the year. Rexburg United will drop to 0-5. Spence.
You know, the Schultz family was the host family of Kara Skinner of 2 of our sports a few years ago.
6 on the shot clock. Jamison to Fullerton. Brady for 3 is short. He with the rebound. And a timeout called by Rexburg. They're going to get one of their final guys into the ball game. Zach Polson from a place in California that I cannot pronounce will be coming in.
I've been there. I was trying to think. There's a dam that was built there because that's where the. Because it's right near Yosemite National Park, and it was fought with John Muir way back when.
Tehachapi? I'm sure that's not right.
You're close.
Zach, 6'2" junior.
Can I phone a friend? My mom would know.
Can you do it in the next 100 seconds?
I probably could, and then I'll get my rotary dial cell phone ready.
Again, CWC basketball. The women back on the home floor on Tuesday. They will entertain LCCC. The men not back home again until December 2nd on a Saturday when they host Colorado Northwestern. Final 100 seconds to this ball game. Cody Spute, 3 over Villanueva, no good. Fullerton will go high for the rebound. Brady with 3 rebounds on the day. Jamison out to Fullerton. Brady back up top, Villanueva. Now left side, Switzer. Drew for 3 is no good as it dish pans out. Cody Spute with a Rexburg rebound. CJ Spute, another 3 chance, no good.
Don't see many 30-foot leaners.
Yeah,
that's what that was.
Stepped in and leaned from just inside half court. Shot outside, no good. Villanueva, the rebound, puts it back up and in. John Villanueva with 8.
Puts us into the triple-figure barrier.
101-61. Not going to get our 6 in double figures tonight for Central. But we're going to get several guys close. Airmailing a 3 is P. And the rebound comes to Central. Underneath, and going to get a late foul call as Schultz will go to the line, and it's going to be on Chapman tag.
And it was a foul.
And he got his money's worth out of it. As
kind of surprising at 35 seconds to go, but
Schultz will go to the line. He is 5 of 6 shooting free throws on the early portion of the year. Kylan's first is good. 11 points on the afternoon for Kylan Schultz. Our 4th in double figures for CWC to match Iggy, and Iggy's got 17. Bear with 14, Finston with 11, and now 12 for Kylan.
Well, we can redefine yesterday's player of the game to make it work for us, too.
Yeah, we could.
which we're apt to do.
Spute underneath. Might have got fouled. No good. P tries to stuff it back in and can't.
P was up there pretty good.
Villanueva's hurt, by the way, as they'll go underneath. Kylan can't alley-oop that one. And the rebound by Tag. Spute won't shoot a long three, although they're going to move it out of there. Final 6 seconds of the ball game. Spute's going to get it. He'll dribble it off his foot, and that's how it'll end. Final score in this one, 103-61 Central. As they are now 4-0 on the season with a 103-61 defeat of Rexburg United here this afternoon and part of the Rustler Classic. Final scores, 103-61. Your Click It or Ticket postgame show will be coming up next. Stay with us. You've been listening to Rustler Basketball on Rustler Media.
Like most victims, Julie knew her killer. It was her son. Julie's son was sitting behind her without wearing a seatbelt. The impact of the crash threw Julie's son forward into his mom. After crushing his mom to death, Julie's